Once upon a time, there was a man, a very evil man who committed magical genocide all across the land. And what was his punishment? Catdom. Now, I say he's an evil, nasty man, but actually I kind of got where he was coming from. He's one of those villains where you understand what they're saying and they could be right if they weren't a murderer. Aldous the Human was one of the strongest mages in all the land, and he wanted to be the strongest, and he wants people to respect him, and he wants to be able to do whatever he wants, but there are magic rules and there are laws and people who want to control him, and he'd been getting away with his nonsense because he hadn't killed anybody, but his head got too big and he started getting a little terrible. And I say that to segue into the main plot of this comic, which is a young boy named Raphael who, on his, I think he turned 20, he moved out, he's an adult, birthday, his lifelong cat who he had his whole life, who he loved and named Smudgy, turned out to be an evil wizard from a millennia ago who killed all of his relatives and is now probably going to get him killed on accident. Maybe. If they can figure out how to break the curse, it will free both of them. So now they're on this long journey to figure out how to free Aldous from his cat form so that they can both live their lives. Aldous's character shipped as a cat was really cute to me. He realized how he had hurt Raphael by keeping a secret, even though cats can't talk, and he probably couldn't write either because he doesn't have fingers, but still he hurt him by not saying anything about where he came from and the fact that he's technically a curse. And he, over his 9 lives that he's had with his former masters who were murdered by the curse or different apparitions, he acknowledges his past laziness, wrongdoing, and admits that over the time he spent with Raphael, he's admitted that he loves him and that he understands that he cares for him and doesn't want to use any types of threats to obtain his goal of becoming human again. He genuinely wants to help him live a full life and not be in pain. So basically the love of a child healed him. Isn't that sweet? Too bad that didn't work on Thanos. I'm not 100% sure why he wants to be human again so bad though, because I mean, think about it, cats have no bills to pay and they don't have to work. They don't have to worry about being attacked in the street. You're just really cute and you get fed. Although I'm sure cat food gets old after a while, but I mean, you're magic. You can eat a turkey and not get appendicitis. You'll be alright. Love Raphael as the main character. We basically saw his entire life story in the beginning, and when he finds out that his cat is technically his familiar and that he is a wizard man, a super powerful wizard man, he goes through the 5 stages of grief and begins understanding that his life will never be what it was, and he mourns that because he had plans. He was going to college, he was going to make friends, he was probably going to date, get married, all this stuff, in this curse mess just basically puts a giant anvil on all of that, and he has to figure out how to deal with that and move forward with a plan so that he can be constructive and work towards his new goals. And he does that beautifully. Once he starts learning magic, he's confident, he wants to try new things. They even travel a bit, and I was like, okay, guy who was sheltered by his mom, who was afraid that he would die, is now venturing out into the world. Okay. Another thing I love is that he has solid friendships. A lot of times in comics, we're so focused on the main character that we forget that they can have a support system outside of just what's happening action-wise in their life, and they can have people to help them get out of situations. They don't have to do it all by themselves. And everybody needs a friend like Maribel. When he's freaking out about anything, she's there to talk him through it. Even if she's a little mean about it, she's there to support him and set him straight. And Alonzo he's just a cheerleader. He's a big fluffy cheerleader who will do anything for you because he loves you. One of my favorite things about this comic, it's not even a main plot, side plot, was complicated romances are my favorite. And when it's not just I'm hot, you're hot, let's get this, it acknowledges that people have baggage, people have a life and plans, that when you meet someone you have to fit into that. It's not just gonna be instantly easy, even if it's an instant connection. How do you decide to be with someone who could potentially disrupt everything you've worked for, whose very existence could be a threat to your goals? And I feel like that is a bit of what Raphael's boyfriend Julius is experiencing, because he is a politician, and we all know that politicians have their entire life gawked at by the entire world. If you do anything wrong, the media is going to be on your butt. So he really cannot risk messing this up, because he is one of the forerunners of this movement of making sure magical creatures are like respected in their society. Because right now I think there's laws keeping them from accessing their and using their powers freely and in public, and I feel like part of that probably is Aldous' fault. Like, I'm sure it's something in the history books explains that after he had his falling out with the Elf Queen, that they were like, we can't let magic people just run amok and do whatever they want. We need regulations. And then over time, the regulations just got tighter and tighter and tighter, until now, where if you cast a spell in public, you might get arrested. So yeah, that's my theory. Anyway, that's all I have for our chat today. If you enjoy fantasy, adventure, action comics, and you are looking for something good on canvas, this is the gem for you. So check it out and enjoy the Christmas season. Or maybe don't enjoy it. Not everyone celebrates Christmas. Happy holidays, and try not to go insane when you shop in the grocery store.